No more class conflict. Since 7.0, 7.2, I haven't joined a match with a class conflict. I don't know if this is true for others, but for me, it has been a huge relief. Thank you, Saber. Yeah, I have to admit, it's actually time to really review how this affected matchmaking. I honestly think this was a great change. Obviously, I think this should have been in the game since launch. But yeah, I agree. When it came to, how many times you join into an operation and, your class is already picked, I think this happened to me maybe like once or twice, something like that. Normally it happens when you join into a team that's at the battle barge already. There could be a guy switching around the class while you are, queuing in. So sometimes that's when the class conflict can, come up where you have two of the same class. But yeah, honestly, matchmaking overall has definitely improved in that sense. When it comes to like joining a game in progress, I feel like whenever I see that, there's kind of like a side, there's like a relief in the sense that, oh, okay, for sure, they're in this operation, it's already started, I can join it, one loading screen, and there won't be my class. I think that's great. Yeah, sometimes if they're not already in the operation, somebody could be switching their class out, and then those are the moments where you can get a conflict in how many classes are chosen there. But yeah, ultimately I think matchmaking has improved quite a bit, so I wanted to jump into some comments here. Let's see how people feel about this, because yeah, this is one of the best changes in the patch. I feel like nobody really talks about as much. It's one of those things I think the devs do deserve credit for, but yeah, if we recall, there were some pretty bad connection issues on patch 7 launch that I think kind of overshadowed this aspect, so can't really blame a lot of people for not pointing this out when a lot of the people who tried patch 7 ran into connection issues. But at least for now, hey, matchmaking's really good. It's smooth. Whenever I jump in an operation, the class I want to play is ready to be picked, and I think that's great. So yeah, let's jump into the comments here. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about matchmaking since patch 7 and how it has improved, because I do think this is one of the best changes we've seen in the newest patch. I've been prestiging Tactical. I'm halfway to the 4th perk, and I've had it happen once. It feels a lot better, especially for Tactical, which is usually a nightmare to find an unconflicted lobby/game. Yeah, normally Tactical is a hard one to get, and I have to be honest, that is 100% what drove me pretty much to just suggest this. I suggested this a couple times in a few videos that I thought, I legit thought this was like the biggest problem the game had, was the fact that your class could already be picked in an operation. I just think that, led people to leave games, and then you're going through more loading screens, and the less time you're playing the game, the less fun you're having. So yeah, that's pretty much what really stuck out in my mind when it came to like matchmaking improvements. Definitely the one thing I thought was definitely holding the game back is just, yeah, class conflict and making sure you can jump into an operation freely and not worry about, hey man, I might need 2 or 3 classes to play in this operation just so I don't need to leave the game and go through multiple loading screens. Since Sniper is the last class I'm prestiging, I've not had a single conflict. Only got them with Vanguard and Tactical. Hey, another mention for how hard it was to matchmake with Tactical, but even then, it was very rare. On the flip side, when playing as Tactical with my bro playing Vanguard, it takes a little longer to get other people to join since they want to play those classes. Oh, that kind of makes sense. Yeah, if you're playing the 2 most popular classes, I can imagine, yeah, if you're waiting for that 3rd guy to show up, hey, you know what? What do they say? Tactical and Vanguard? At least you have either a heavy or a sniper. Or, oh, I guess this guy said he's playing Sniper. Regardless, hey, nobody's playing Bulwark or Heavy, so you guys have definitely some good options available. I feel like when it comes to, like, class synergy now, everyone's really in a good spot, so I think the one thing that does help is if you have an Assault player accompanied by, like, a Sniper, that can kind of work out. So, ultimately, I think, oh, he does say playing as Tactical with my brother. So Vanguard and Tactical, yeah, pretty much any class that joins you guys ready to go. Tactical has ranged and, close range capabilities, but mostly ranged. And then Vanguard has a lot of close range capabilities. Hey, that's good synergy. I'd be curious to see a recent poll on what class people play the most, because I think Vanguard is the most popular by a large margin, with Bulwark 2nd and Sniper last, at least from my limited experience / sample size. So apparently there was a poll for this, and it seems like Tactical was first, which, yeah, that's definitely Yeah, makes sense. I felt the same thing with, queuing in to operations as tactical. Bulwark was second and Sniper was last, but I wonder how long ago that poll was. Because, I could still see Sniper being last. I can imagine the Bolt Sniper probably isn't the most fun to play on, a controller, and, most PC players would enjoy Sniper, I would assume. However, tactical, yeah, makes sense. Bulwark being second also makes sense. I play a lot of all of those classes, and Vanguard is actually on my least played, so I don't know. It's interesting. I do see a lot of Vanguards, though. Which patch? In 7.0, for the new matches, I was able to play it was basically 50-50 if tactical was taken. Can't play much even after 7.2 because there are still massive connectivity issues for me. That's unfortunate. Sheesh. That's definitely not great to hear. Let me know in the comments if you guys are still dealing with any sort of connection issues. You would think 7.2 would have ironed those out. I think since 7.2, I've been seeing, better connections overall. There has been moments where I've noticed like spikes here and there, or I would join a lobby where it's been yellow the entire match, but as far as I'm concerned, it feels fine. So I don't know. Connection for me has been okay. I definitely feel for the people who are still dealing with connection issues. Not too sure how that can be the case. This game could definitely feel it can feel intensive for sure. Sometimes I'll get crashes if I play it for too long on my older PC, but I don't get crashes on my newer system, which is nice. And then PS5, on the PS5 Pro, connections have been really good recently. I think there was like a moment like a week ago where I'd have some weird connection issues where like I would drop out of a match and rejoin the same match. That happened once. That was insane. I actually had a full loading screen in the middle of an operation, like right after a fight when we were jumping into some objectives, and it respawned us at the checkpoint, which was definitely interesting, because it's like how did they, whatever, how did the game even know where to like spawn us in a spot where it wasn't going to like cause any issues? So I don't know. Ultimately, connection has been fine for me. Matchmaking has been fine for me. It's very fun just to jump into the games that are already in progress, because you already know that you're going to jump into the action with your class available, and you don't really have to wait or go through a lot of loading screens because you're trying to find a good match or whatever. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys are still dealing with connection issues. I think I see like a handful of you guys still deal with it like once or twice. I will definitely get like one or two comments throughout the week, something like that. But ultimately, connection issues should be fine. I really hope the devs are ready for siege mode, because yeah, I can't imagine the servers taking all those returning players lightly. You can imagine for siege mode, that's probably going to be the patch that's going to bring back the most players. So, but yeah, I think this is one of the better changes in the patch. Probably the best change nobody talks about. But yeah, ultimately, let me know in the comments how you guys feel. Have you been able to jump into matches, where your class is available? Do you think the changes have been like positive, and how positive? Do you think, like, honestly, for me, it's like a game changer, but still you can get bad days where you jump into a match where maybe the teammates are already like about to die or whatever. Sometimes, that stuff just happens. So, unfortunately, there are definitely players out there who are just going to sit at the battle barge AFK and have their matchmaker open. You can't really blame the devs for that. But yeah, regardless, I think it's one of the better changes since the new patch. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel. Thanks for watching.